We're a mom and son travel duo,
inspiring authors,
sharing world adventures with you, and inspiring dreams, bringing inspiration for creation to you,
exploring the world and finding greatness.
We're here to energize your dreams and adventures through travel.
Hi guys, we're back. We're so excited to be back. This is
Global Footprint Stories Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1.
And I am Deborah Haile.
And I'm her son, Jonah Seyum.
And we're your hosts, and we're so excited that you're here and you're back with us to listen to our story.
We have a lot to tell you.
It's been a long 2 years, but we're excited to get this started.
So make sure you're strapped, buckled, and ready.
Yes, let's go. We've been gone for 2 years. So our podcast, we started it. We had 2 seasons, and then we took a break for 2 years.
Yeah.
And a lot happened in 2 years. That's why we took a break.
Mm-hmm.
But life happens, and we basically decided to. We couldn't find time. We're moving from Florida to California. New job, new school, new everything, right?
Yeah.
And so it took a little bit out of us, so we couldn't do the podcast at that time, but now we're back and we're super excited to be back.
Yep.
To talk about our adventures. We are the mom and son duo. We do talk about our travels around the world. We talk about our books. We are best-selling authors of 6 books. Proud to say that 3 of them are Jonah's and 3 of them are the 2 of us have written together as Tiny Global Footprints. We'll tell you a little bit about those books in a little bit. But yeah, we are here. We're here to share our stories and our inspiration, really how we got started and what we're about. We're just, again, mom and son duo, just traveling the world, doing life every day, and also writing books about our travels and inspiring children about writing books, inspiring children about traveling the world. That is our motto. So what have we been up to in the last 2 years?
So in the past 2 years, we've written 2 new books, traveled to 15 countries, translated 5 books into our native language, Tigrinya, which is in Eritrea, where our family is from.
Yeah. So the 2 books we've written are
this one.
That's Jonah's. That's the latest one. That's 2024 book. Torture of Chores. It's a good book. And then this is the other book about
Filling My Pockets at Natfa in Eritrea.
And it's all about, like we said, we're from a country called Eritrea. Our family's from Eritrea, so we've written a book about it. It's the best book. That's why it was a bestseller. And it's a book about a child who goes and explores Eritrea and Africa. And so they did both really well. And we are, writing, continuing our writing journey. So Jonah, where are the countries that we've been to besides writing the books in 2 years? We went to 15 countries. 15 countries is a lot. Some of them we repeated because we love them. But which ones did we go to?
So the ones that we repeated are Mexico, which we went to twice. Dubai, we went to twice. Eritrea, we went to 4 times. And it was like, I loved it all of the times.
And then we added it now, so it's 5 times, right?
Oh yeah, we just went.
We just went like a month ago.
So now, in these 2 years of this podcast that we haven't been recording, we've been to Eritrea 5 times.
Yes, we're in love with it a little bit.
And new countries that I've just discovered, probably mommy's already been there, but new countries that I've discovered are Italy, London, Ethiopia, and Bahamas. Those are new countries that
Egypt.
And Egypt.
Yeah, and Egypt, yeah. So between Dubai a few times, Mexico a few times, because when we were in Florida, Mexico was close by, so we're able to go there. And then Eritrea a few times. What were some of the new countries you went to? You said London. Did you mention London?
Yeah, London we went to recently through our trip of Eritrea.
It was really nice. We spent New Year's there. It was very cold.
Yeah.
We just got back from London, Eritrea, and then actually it started in Ohio. We had a family reunion, and then that was nice. Lots of family members, like 30 of us were there in this cold Ohio. From Ohio, we went to London. I got sick. Jonah was fine. He was fine. And then we went from London. We were there for 10 days. For a week. week in Ohio, a week in London, and a week in Eritrea. We had a wedding in Eritrea. That's why we went there. And so we'll talk about the wedding in a different podcast because I feel like Jonah experienced a lot at that wedding, and he was very excited. It was a friend of mine, childhood friend of mine's wedding, and he really enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, and this is one of my first. That was one of my first times experiencing like a traditional wedding in Eritrea.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is so cool.
And you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. I was dancing with all the people there, and it was like.
And you got money.
And I got money. I got 55. Not
when you dance, you get money. So he got some money when he was dancing, and he like was really breaking it down on the dance floor, which was really cool. Okay, cool. So what else did we do besides publishing the 2 books, right?
We published 2 books.
15 countries.
We went to 15 countries, and we translated 5 books into Tigrinya.
Yes.
Which we recently said.
So all of them have been translated.
This is the one that we showed you in Tigrinya.
Yep.
This is my previous one.
Yep.
This is my other previous one that I wrote during COVID. And this was our second one.
Exactly.
Together.
Yes, together. And all these books have been translated into Tigrinya now, which is exciting. They're all on our website, tinyglobalfootprints.net. We had to change our website as well, but so it's tinyglobalfootprints.net and not .com anymore. But all these books are there, all the translated books in Tigrinya, and these new books that we have are already there. It's been exciting to translate them because these books were translated by Eritrean kids. We went to Eritrea 2 years ago, and we were doing a book event. The book event was just to inspire kids about reading, writing, and with just Jonah and I, we hosted a big event for like 100 people. The news media was there, all these authors, well-known authors and writers, and also other government officials came to this event. It was really great. And when we did that, we had kids that were extremely interested in writing books after that. They were we had 15 kids, and they were really excited to work with Jonah, to talk to Jonah, and they got very inspired to write their books. So they are the ones who translated these books. We asked them to translate, they translated it. And then another thing that we did with them is they went ahead. I created a group called Young Eritrean Writers program for them. Had 5 teachers that were really interested in helping with this program that actually live in Eritrea. They were dedicated, and they said, we'll volunteer our time to actually go there and teach them, once a month or twice a month to how, to read, to summarize, and all these things in order to become an author one day. So they did, which was so, great. So between the teachers and then the students, this program has been going on for 2 years now, and it's been amazing. We did another book event this past year that we went to Eritrea. How was it?
I think it was amazing. I represented my new book, Torture of Chores, there, and I gave a speech. And it wasn't only me, because all of the 15 kids in the Young Eritrean Writers Program, they represented their translated books at the event too.
Yeah.
And everyone loved it. There was a big audience, a big crowd, and it was like...
It was amazing because, we travel together, and we write together. So we want to make sure that we're also inspiring other parents and families and kids to write as well. So when they see Jonah writing, they're like, I can do it too. So these kids, they were very inspired. And that's why we did, this book launch the second time this past year, because they translated the books. So we did a big event for them to say, good job for translating all 5 books. Now you've translated them and they're published. You guys, and now we're working with them to publish their own stories. They're trying to write their own stories so they can publish their own books. But the translated books have done really well. It's a really a great way to have children, inspired so they can write too, and motivate them. So the program, like I said, it just came to be out of nowhere, but it's been great because the program has been helping these 15 kids, and they're very dedicated, and the teachers are there. They meet twice a month, and for 2 years they've been doing this, and it's just something that's very humbling and very exciting, and that we keep doing. We just got back from there too. The other thing that we do is blind kids. We we have a blind kids program too, that we support and help. And the blind kids, we've been going to them, we've been reading to them, and we give them like essentials when it's needed. Oh, they know Jonah's rights. We have a group in Eritrea, we have a group here that supports this program, and it's so amazing because again, that's another way of giving back. So between having the young writers program and having the blind kids program, it's just that's the reason, one of the reasons we go back to Eritrea so much. What's another reason we went to Eritrea so much?
To see our family, see friends, and over the past years, I've made a lot of friends. So like,
Because you go there so much.
I go there so many times. I met one of my very good friends in Eritrea at a game place when we were both playing FIFA.
Yeah.
And it was like, and now we're friends. Like whenever we're there, I go with him, I walk with him, and then I grab some of my other friends, and we go drink cappuccino and walk on the Katema streets, which is downtown. It's like so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
And he's independent there because you
Mhm.
can just, it's safe.
Safe,
So
very safe.
I just let him be, and he goes and he does his thing all day. We meet at night at home, basically. And how do you feel about that freedom?
And I'm like, wow. When I'm here at home in America, I'm like, I can't do anything. You either need a parent or guardian to go with you anywhere. But in Asmara, you like you have freedom to walk on the streets by yourself and then come home. It's like, wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah, and you love that independence still,
Mhm,
right?
I love it.
Yeah, you love it, and you're always, um, I think you're always also feeling like, oh, I can do this. Like you feel confident, and you feel like you're not scared, and you feel like you can do more with your
Mhm.
friends and stuff like that. And the cool thing is, what are you guys doing now? The
Now,
three of you.
the three of us, which is their names are Kiab and Kudus and I, we are writing a book called Basketball Boys, which is going to be publishing soon.
Yeah.
And we've been working on it through virtual call, and yeah, we've been adding story and giving their feedback and my feedback, and then we merged it. It's like, yeah, we've been doing a lot of work when I'm there, and we just worked on it, and
Yeah.
now it's almost done.
And how many you've been working on it for the last year, maybe? So this whole time that we've been going back, they sit and they type and they talk about it, and then they go back and then they do again. So every single time that we went back to Eritrea, they've been working on this book, and we'll talk more about it on our next podcast for sure.
You can buy all of our Jonah's Global Footprints book series directly on our website at tinyglobalfootprints.com. That's also where you can find Jonah's own best-selling kids books. His new book, What Does Daddy Do All Day, just hit the bookshelves. The next chapter of Jonah's Global Footprints series will explore Eastern Africa. Join us on life's adventure at tinyglobalfootprints.com.
So a lot going on. Obviously, we didn't do the podcast, but we've obviously been busy. And then the other thing that we've done was also we've had 4 or 5 media appearances, and we've had right.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
So we had 4 media appearances, and one of them was on Airy TV, another one was on NBC, Daily Blast, and Voice of America for Eritrea.
Yep, and we also had a newspaper that we were featured in, which is super cool. So the newspaper we were featured in was really cool. The NBC interview was really cool. The also all the other TV stations that we've had, it was really cool. So we really have been busy, I think, even though we haven't, been doing the podcast. And like I said,
Doing
because
a lot.
but we yeah.
I feel like we've been very productive in these past 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. Even though, again, like the move and everything did take a lot out of us, like, to get adjusted to a new place and enjoying it. Do you like California?
Oh, I love the city that we're in. San
Yeah.
Francisco, ooh, it's amazing.
Yeah. And then what else when you compare it to Florida, what do you think?
I love the weather in Florida, but I love where we are right now.
Why do you love it?
I
Why do you love California?
I have a lot of friends, and it's such a safe neighborhood, and I love where we are
Yeah.
in our home.
That's amazing. And then another thing I think we have kind of failed to say that we've enjoyed also is I think you're becoming more involved in the travels also, and because you're doing your own videos. and these traveling. And can you tell us a little bit more about it? So he's been doing these videos when we go to places, and these videos have been going like viral now. And so tell us a little bit more about that.
So wherever we are, for example, when I was in Eritrea, and I would be doing something like, for example, at drinking cappuccino, because here you can't drink cappuccino, so like kids can. So I would like grab a phone and then I would record where I am, give a tiny fun fact, and then just show the where I am and give the audience an experience of what it's like.
And well, cappuccino there is mostly milk and maybe a tad bit of coffee. So
Yeah.
that's why it's different than the cappuccino here. That's one. Two, and then in London, you were
Yeah,
also
when we
went
were
to
when we went to London this past month, I was like recording everything because these are all like places that I've been wanting to see for years and years. And
why?
now, because they're like great landmarks and they look so nice, and it was just great to see all these places that I've been wanting to see. So
Yeah.
I would record them, take pictures, and yeah.
And what was your favorite part about London?
My favorite part, it's really tricky. But if I was to say something, I would say
The London Eye.
the London Eye. Yeah, I would say the London Eye.
Yeah, the
'Cause you
London.
could see the whole London from there, and the
Yeah.
view was like amazing.
Well, I was sick, very sick, because I caught a cold in Ohio that dragged into London and dragged into Eritrea. It dragged the whole trip. It was not fun. But so even though I was sick, he was fine the whole time. So
And
we
I
were
was
still
enjoying it.
outside in the cold doing all these fun activities. We were outside from morning to night, basically.
And it was like 30 degrees Fahrenheit in London every day.
Lower, it was like 20.
Like at its highest point, it was like 30 degrees. And
Yeah.
towards the night and morning, early mornings, it would be so
Super cold. Yeah.
That was the only part that I didn't like, but the rest was amazing. One of my favorite countries, top 3.
And we were supposed to spend New Year's, where we're supposed to spend New Year's watching the London Eye fireworks. We were super excited for that. And then what happened?
And then when we were having dinner with some friends, they persuaded me into going to their house to have their own ceremony and not be crowded. And I was like, that sounds nice. Having free fireworks was not millions of people gathered around you and having traffic when you're leaving. I was like, hey, it's the same thing, just without London Eye. So then we watched it, fireworks, we celebrated New Year's. We stayed up until 7 a.m.
So with family, obviously, with family and family friends, basically, we were at family friend's house. But I think the fun part of traveling is the fact that he wanted to do New Year's in London, one of his favorite places that he's been wanting to go to bucket list. And when we were there, I think 5 things that were highlights, I would say, is the London Eye. What else? Was the Buckingham Palace.
Mm-hmm. And then 3rd is the Big Ben.
Big Ben, I agree. And then we did the bus tour.
Yeah, we did the big bus tour around the whole London.
Yep.
And we went on the Tower Bridge, which is the one with like large structures, and it was like crowded, but it was so beautiful to see.
Absolutely. And we walked through the whole area, like we were on foot basically the whole time, right?
And the 5th highlight was Piccadilly Circus and like Oxford Street in that area.
Yeah.
So many yummy restaurants and lots of lights and shopping places. Oh, I love that place.
London, we went to London during the holidays, and London is one of the best places to be like during the holidays because of the lights. It's just very festive, and it's beautiful, and it was like just amazing, speechless really. But so many places that we want to go for the holidays always, and New Year's especially. We love to spend New Year's at a cool place. So London, we checked it off, even though we didn't go to the London Eye, the landmark, to see the big fireworks, but we spent New Year's in London, which was great.
And we had a bunch of fun.
Yeah, we did have a good fun. So it was a good time for sure. So we were very excited. Well, that was kind of our recap of what has been happening, and we celebrate 2025 in London. That's the amazing part.
Yeah.
And so, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an exciting time.
Super.
Okay.
And just as a recap, because since we've been to 15 countries this past 2 years, my top 3 list on my favorite countries has changed a lot. So let me just quickly do.
What were they before, the top 3?
Before, number 3 was Thailand. No, number 1 was Thailand, number 2 was Cuba, number 3 was Eritrea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, number 1 is London, number 2 is Italy, number 3 is Eritrea.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. Even though he has friends in Eritrea as number 3.
Yeah.
Mine is number 1. That's why I keep taking him. We'll talk about Italy next time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for listening to us. We're going to have more episodes to come about talking again about our books, talking about countries we go to, travel tips. We're going to bring authors and writers to come and talk about how they do it. Especially when you're juggling a full-time job and then traveling and writing, it's definitely difficult. But we're excited and
Yeah,
follow
we're
us
happy.
and be in this journey.
We're happy to start back up our podcast and stay tuned for season 3, episode 2.
Yes. See you soon. Peace.